Today's show is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's Podgo at podgo.co. Podgo, that's where the pods go.
Hello and welcome to the Infectious Group Podcast, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Recorded at the 33 1/3 Music Appreciation Center in Speakeasy, located just outside of Detroit, Michigan. The Infectious Group Podcast is your source for jammy jams, music news, and the best in-depth music discussion. Thanks for joining us. Now here are your hosts.
Hello, it's Russ along with Michelle and Kyle, and this episode is so nice we're recording it twice.
It was nice.
It was nice. No matter what happens during this episode, I'm going to be like, man, the one yesterday, that was a great point. I wish you could remember it now, you know. But yeah, we had technical issues, and by way of a long story, not only were the three of us able to get back together and do this in a bench, but we have with us a friend of the show, Joe, who appeared during season 1 on our show and then loved it so much that he ran out and got his own podcast.
What?
Not true at all.
He didn't love it. He doesn't want to be here now. He doesn't even want to be on the show he's on. But there's
the door.
So Joe is on a Star Trek podcast, which has either the best or the second best name by a sliver for any podcast that I've ever heard of. The one that is close to yours in how much I love the name of it is the BTFYW podcast, which is because F you, that's why. Like I just love. They're on the Odd Pods Media Network as well, and I just love that, which is, I'll get into it in a minute, but we got that celebrity endorsement video, and that's my favorite name that he says. I'm like, right on. But
more than ours?
So, more than ours? What do you mean? The name of our show?
No, you love that more than when he says
No,
ours?
I was super excited when he said ours. Come on now. I just thought it was funny watching that come out of a celebrity's mouth. I'm not even sure if y'all are going to get this joke of Joe's
I absolutely do not.
Yeah, it's so his podcast, which is based on Star Trek, is called Keeping Up with the Cardassians. Now, for those of you not in the room, a tumbleweed just rolled in front of Michelle. Did you say nerd? The short version is there's a race in Star Trek lore.
It's a race
called the Cardassians, and I was just, as soon as I saw the name of that podcast, I was just like, brilliant. And you named it, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
That's genius.
That's all, Joe, funny. Everyone. So if you're into Star Trek at all, which is funny, hey, Joe, how into Star Trek are you?
Now I'm very into Star Trek.
But no, before getting into the show, tell us about
all.
your long storied history with Star Trek before getting into the show.
Done.
That was it.
That's it. No,
Yeah.
I hadn't seen anything Star Trek related. And a friend of mine who was doing it, his name's Rob, the other host is Nick, and they were doing the show, watching Deep Space Nine from start to finish, doing reviews. And Rob wanted to get my opinion on the show. He's been trying to get me to watch it for a while, but I had no incentive, and I just I don't watch a lot of.
It took me like a year and a half to
TV.
get you to watch The Newsroom.
It did.
Yeah, but then when he watched it, he burned through it in like a week.
Yep. So I just never got around to it, and he offered me again to watch it over the podcast, and
Yeah, why not?
why not?
Why not? And then you gave them the gift of the best podcast name ever. So, like, for real, if I wasn't even interested in Star Trek, I would follow that show based on the name alone. Like, we've retweeted them a bunch of times, and I've always been like, check out the name of these guys. And people are like, I'm going to follow them right now, because of that. So having said that, we are going to get through our main topic, which is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The way I figure it is the three of us will just restate a lot of the things that we said yesterday during our discussion, and we'll let Joe get involved. And then if he says something we don't like, the three of us will just gang up on him.
Isn't that what happened last time?
That's more or less what.
So we were having a discussion the way over here. Joe's only been on the show once?
Yeah. Yeah. This is his second appearance. I believe he's our first two-timer as well.
I tried to tell you this.
Oh, I don't believe you.
What, do you think he was on several times?
Well, Beckett said that he was here when Joe was here.
Nope, that's lies.
And that,
So,
and that Kyle was not here.
She believed an 8-year-old over me.
Well, let me say it depends on the topic.
As a regular listener, I can guarantee that she knows nothing about what happens. Like, I could have been on this show every week, and she'd been like, "It's the first time here, huh?"
I've never met you before. Nice to meet you, Joe.
Nice to meet you.
Solid.
Yeah.
Other cool things that happened to us this week is we had yet another YouTube video on Thursday, as we always do. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, go to YouTube, type in Infectious Group Podcast, and subscribe to that. Every Thursday, we will have a new video. But this past week, we had 2 videos because on Wednesday, we were able to put up a celebrity endorsement, which was rad. I didn't even know that this was in the works for our network. But if you go to our page, you can see the one and only Kevin Smith go.
Silent Bob.
Yeah, well, Silent Bob, sure. And then also he's Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Director of many, many famous movies. And as he says in the video, if you go watch it, like he's one of those guys where he's kind of an authority on podcasts, like he's known for his podcasting. So when he makes a recommendation, people tend to listen to it. And he recommended not only the Odd Pods Media Network, but the Infectious Group Podcast, which is...
That's us.
Sweet. That's good. That's very good, Michelle. See, she knows things, Joe.
Yeah, I was wrong again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
She got lost already. So, having said that, we're going to go through a couple of different segments, and we're bringing back an old segment from season 1.
Feedback, Joe. Don't worry about that. Right. Where would rock and roll be without feedback?
Where would rock and roll be without feedback? David Gilmour, and he did not personally make that drop for us, by the way. That's from an old Pink Floyd film. I just want to make sure you guys knew that I didn't contact David Gilmour and have him.
Why not?
We're on the outs right now.
He was busy.
I'm mad at him over the new Pink Floyd remix and remaster, which Joe, it's god awful, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that, which by the way, we often talk about. Sometimes we want to do not our Jammy Jam section. That is not my Jammy Jam, the latest Pink Floyd remix and reissue.
Last time when you had me listen to it, I heard the Vanilla Ice Ice Baby, and you were like, "This song goes do 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 do," and this one goes, and I was like, "Okay."
I was in the record store the other day, and I was explaining it to the owner, and I could see the entire time him being like, "That's nice, that's nice for you." Like, the whole time I was talking, I could see him being like, "That's nice for you." Like, I'm looking for. He's like, you gave me the $70 for it though, right? All right, our part is done here. So, anyways, as far as feedback goes for the week, one thing when we did the original version of the episode, I didn't mention it all the way to the end, and I felt really bad because we got one of the best pieces, or probably the best piece of feedback I think we've got about the show since we started. Was there was a listener who tweeted at us sometime during the week, and his tweet read, "Listening to the Infectious Group podcast makes me appreciate music," which is like exactly what we started out to do.
Yeah, we're done here now.
Well,
we did it.
Well, we reached one person, so we're good. But we get a lot of compliments on the show that I don't take for granted at all. Like, "Oh, the chemistry between you guys is great," or like, "Oh, I talk back to the show all the time," which is like, what you're going for is people to feel engaged. But like someone flat out saying that just listening to us talk makes them appreciate music more. Like, if I went back and listened to our first episode, I'm pretty sure I said that was the goal during the first episode. Mm-hmm. So I'm really, really excited about that. Now, as far as last week's topic, oh boy, did we get some feedback as far as technology in music. And the one most unique thing that I wanted to point out was somebody tweeted it as something that I didn't even think of that's a huge plus in music and technology is now with like YouTube and stuff, like even Rocksmith and like the Guitar Hero games and stuff, people can learn songs way easier now than they ever could before.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to learn on whatever instrument you want to learn it, you don't even have to have your computer. You can go to your phone, bring up YouTube, and this song on this instrument, and someone has made a YouTube video explaining exactly how to learn that. So, and the person that brought it up to us on Twitter brought up Rocksmith, which was like a super great game that didn't get the love that it should have got, really, but it was like Guitar Hero, but you used a real guitar, and there was a USB interface with it, and so you could put it on, if you already knew how to play the songs, you could put it on expert and like go right through. But the way it started out was it would basically be just like Rock Band, where the colors would come down the stream or whatever else, but it actually equated to where you would put your fingers on a real guitar. And the better you got at the song, the more parts of the song it would add. So you go through the song 3 or 4 times and then actually be playing the song for real, which was sweet. And so the guy was like, "I learned so many songs playing that." I was like, "Hell yeah,
so
me too."
The reason that didn't take off was because everyone had to own a guitar in order to play it.
Well, they even had bundles versions that came with like a
it
cheap...
was more or less a real guitar, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was like an Epiphone. Yeah.
I mean, but more or less, it wasn't the buttons you're pushing on.
No,
guitar
it was a real
was
guitar it came with.
and-
Yeah. I mean, and if you already had your own guitar because it was regularly jacked.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was rad.
Yeah.
It was real rad, and
have-
I learned 3 or 4 songs that I never even thought I would play from that.
Do they have the version for the flute?
yes, Flutesmith. Yes, that much like the Beatles rock band is more or less the expansion that killed the genre. Flutesmith is what killed Rocksmith. Once they put that out, everybody said
that's for sure.
Yeah, they said you've just jumped the shark now. They couldn't have a whole game full of Jethro Tull songs, so
Why not?
they just got rid of it. So anyways, that was cool. And then a lot of different feedback about technology and music. My favorite one was short and sweet from Chris A on Facebook. Without George Martin, the Beatles becomes Yoko Ono, which is true. That's the quality control aspect that Kyle and I were talking about. Like, Thriller's a masterpiece, and yes, Michael Jackson's a genius, but maybe Thriller is bloated and the wrong songs go on it if Quincy's not there to go, no, Michael, this needs to be this, and this, right? So with people sitting around making their own music, there's no quality control anymore. And just because you wrote 37 songs in your bedroom doesn't mean that those are 37 good songs. And of course, your friends and family are going to be like, those are great.
Right.
And so there's no quality control. Jamie P wrote a really big, long, like if you're on our Facebook page, go take a look at what he wrote, because it's really good and in detail, but I kind of pulled out some highlights from it. One of the upsides to the music and technology is what we talked about in depth is the accessibility. And the phrase he used is something it really puts it in perspective for you. Like, we have access to several lifetimes worth of music just on our phones, which is like a huge thing when you think about it. But again, because of digital recording and whatnot, there's not really any stakes for the artist anymore. Like, everything now is, well, we'll just fix it in Pro Tools later, as opposed to when people recorded analog, they had to get it right the first time, and there was probably more passion in it, so there was that. But he closed his whole statement out with and get off my lawn. So that'll give you an idea of where he went with all of that. Like, he was very self-aware when he left that. And then there was another gentleman on a music forum who said along the lines of, like, where we're going, even the people now who are mixing and mastering things analog, like a Jack White, or people that we discussed that still do things that way, maybe they won't even put the time and care into the craft like they used to, because the listeners aren't listening as intently as they used to. So there's definitely some worry, but then a lot of people pointed out how much we gain from technology and music.
Like, you can plug in your stereo.
Hey, you can plug in your turntable to your soundbar if you try hard enough and put the volume at the right level.
Volume.
It's a whole thing. We're going to explain it to Michelle again after the show. So, all right.
Technology eludes me. Okay.
That is.
Wait, what?
That's the most factual thing you've ever said.
Wasn't there some sort of negative?
There was. I left it out with this one, but no. You know what? We'll go there. We had the only jerk on Twitter. I will censor myself.
I was going to call him a wiener. So.
Yeah. And a person who doesn't even listen to the show, doesn't even follow the show on social media, interjected and said, of course, technology's helped music because, if you're not listening to everything on, stringed or woodwind instruments, then, technology helped. Well, yeah, we weren't talking about if power didn't exist.
Yeah, it's taken completely out of context of what we were talking about.
But Twitter going to Twitter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You should listen to the episode first and then come at me, bro.
Exactly. Well, that was my thing. And we went back and forth 3 or 4 times, and I did what I like is the passive aggressive troll, where I kept shutting him down and then ending each tweet with a smiley face. Just to make him more mad.
I like it.
But for the people that did listen to the episode, we got a lot of good feedback. So by all means, if you have any feedback on that episode, this one, or anything, interact with us pretty much anywhere on the internet now. InfectiousGroupPodcast.com.
Are you guys on the dark web?
Facebook. Michelle's on the dark web.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The person who can't figure out technology is sure on the dark web, for sure.
A lot of DNA from her basement is for sale on the dark net.
Dark web.
Hey, Michelle, speaking of your DNA.
What a great segue.
I heard you have an announcement to share with all of us and the listeners.
We, Kyle and I
was going to say, please clarify when you say we.
I'm so glad I'm here for this one.
We're having a baby.
A baby. So,
a tiny baby.
The quarantine has yielded another.
Yeah, we did not socially distance.
yeah, you guys. Yeah, I saw when you announced it on social media, it said social distancing fail, which is great. When is the bundle of joy? Loosely
the second
using
coming.
that term.
I think you said last time.
What's that?
You said like the second coming.
Oh
or...
no,
Yeah.
you have that wrong. So,
I think he said the rapture.
Yeah, the apocalypse is closely associated with the second coming. Wait, are you actually having the fourth horseman?
Yes.
That wouldn't surprise me one bit. So when are we looking at this baby coming?
June 14th.
Sweet. So if Michelle ends up on bed rest between now and then, she's just going to be on Facebook Messenger on audio again for the show. So we'll see what happens. And then your camera will get higher and higher as the belly gets bigger because the laptop will be sitting
Yeah,
on
and
your
you
belly.
promised me a ring light.
Yes, and I will make sure that you have a ring light. You know we don't video this show, right? Or do you want it?
I just want it. That was the barter for it.
Just for your own beautification?
Yes.
Solid. All right, so that is fantastic news. So if you follow us on any social media or anything, make sure to say congratulations to Michelle, or oops, or damn it, like whatever your feelings, share your feelings with us. We'll pass the talking stick around, and everyone share your feelings on how you feel. So let's move along to hopefully better news.
Shut up.
Music news. Kyle, what's going on?
There is a new Taylor Swift documentary.
Yay. And I'm crossing my fingers. No, I said that the worst I could. I meant yay, like more upbeat, because I'm hoping I'll like this one any more than the last one. I did not like the last one.
I didn't mind the last one, but I don't know. I wasn't looking at it as critically as you were, I guess.
Oh, well,
but
that's me. That's me.
I haven't seen either, so.
Yeah. Well, the last one had a lot to do with her issues with stardom and the press and the thing that happened with Kanye and all that. And a lot of it for me was like, if you stop talking about it, all those things will go away, if there's a list of people on earth who have things to complain about, for me personally, if I get to rank that list, Taylor Swift is very low on that list of people who should get to complain about things. So I was put off by it. But this new one that's on Disney Plus is supposed to be the album Folklore, which at least you two have heard. And have you heard Folklore yet, Joe?
Yeah, I've
heard really good things about it. Like, they were the first ones to tell me it was great. I think
it's pretty
did.
good. Yeah. I mean, it's the best start to finish Taylor Swift album since 1989.
Yeah. I was going to say, please say since 89. Like, if you say like Reputation, I'm going to be like, all right, well, I'm really not going to like this. But they recorded that record distanced. Like, everybody recorded their own parts in their own home studios. And the documentary that's on Disney Plus is the first time they've all sat together to play the songs. Everybody that was on the record.
Okay.
And it's the whole album straight through. So,
I think Bon Iver's on the album, and I had no idea that it was him because he sounds so different than what he normally does on his
And
own
Jack
work.
Antonoff is on it too, which I think means Fun is completely over, the band Fun, because every time
it's been over.
Well, every time they mention, they used to say Jack Antonoff of Fun and Bleachers, and now it's always just of Bleachers. So I have a feeling like we're
Why?
I don't know. I think stardom was the thing. I think as soon as some nights, fun some nights. I believe when that blew up as big as it did, I just think the pressure of all of it is. I think they were just like, all right, we're out.
God damn it.
I mean, I haven't spoken to any of the three of them about it, but when
Would
I
you
do,
get on that?
when I do, I'll update you.
I guess if you're not prepared for something like that, then that shit will just destroy you.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Isn't
at
that
least
the point?
to destroy you.
No, to be famous, to get something like, isn't that, would you do that for?
And you're never going to believe this, but a lot of artists have struggled with getting famous.
Because, they're just a normal person before the album comes out, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and then holy shit, this is the greatest thing we've ever heard, and then now they have to live up to that. And
I understand, but that's the point. That's why you do that.
Oh, all right.
really
Hey, everybody. If you
suck it up.
Hey, if you're
Deal
hearing,
with it.
If you're hearing this and you're an artist, just take Michelle's advice. just don't. Yeah, no biggie. No biggie.
Having a hard day? Too bad you're famous. Get over it.
You know what? Oh man. So every podcast out there, of course, hopes they get big, right? I hope we get big just so I can play this audio over and over in the future. Like when
that's to say that the audio works.
we don't even know if this this is being recorded, right? So
That's what I'm saying.
joke could be on you. So anyways, what else happened? There was at least one other music story.
Oh, yeah. Stevie Nicks done made her a boatload of cash.
She sure did.
What did she do?
She sold a large percentage of her music rights to a large conglomerate company who buys music rights from people.
This woman sold 80% of her music rights and made $100 million. I mean, yes, yeah, all day, every day, especially at that age. Like if you're,
and someone's gonna crucify me for keep saying music rights, but it's just the publishing,
right?
It's
well,
not,
yeah,
it's not the entirety of everything that happened.
Well,
it's not all of it. It's just the publishing.
Let me tell you why I side with you. Just saying music rights,
Yeah.
like what that means to anyone listening to this show is like. Now Landslide's going to be in a Cadillac commercial.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Whereas before it might not have been.
Yes.
Basically what she sold is the right to decide that. So Dreams could end up in a Snapple commercial because of the guy with TikTok or whatever else, and she won't have a say in that any longer.
It's Ocean Spray.
Whatever.
I was just saying that because it's easier. It makes more sense.
Right,
But
right,
I know
right.
someone's going to be like, that's not true.
The one guy from Twitter.
Yeah.
The one
This is
guy
the
from
one
Twitter is
episode
going
he
to come back
listens
to haunt Kyle. But as far as that goes, though, I don't want to say everybody's doing it, so that's okay. But like more and more artists are doing this, and my thing with Stevie Nicks specifically is that she has nothing left to prove. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have.
I agree.
Any problem with Stevie Nicks selling off, publishing rights. I mean, she's up there in age and she's proven everything she needs to prove as a songwriter. Like I don't have any problem. I don't think there's any integrity issues there is what I'm trying to say. Now we just talked about Fun. Like if Fun, 10 minutes after Some Nights blew up, if they were like, oh, we sold our publishing rights, I would be like, damn it. Like, that's what you got into this for? Is the paycheck? I'd be mad at that.
Isn't that why you do that?
No, Michelle.
Oh, my God.
This one time, there was a gentleman from Southern California who put his heart and soul into this complete masterpiece, not for the money or the fame, and it ended up being called Pet Sounds, and it was totally and universally praised by everyone on earth but you. So,
Guess what we got in the mail the other day?
Pet Sounds?
The better album, Dermot Kennedy.
Oh, all right. Well, moving right along. Our jammies. Like I do whenever that name comes up, I just move right along. So we're going to talk about our jammy jams, which you're going to never believe is not and never was and never will be Dermot Kennedy for me.
Now you're just doing it out of spite.
Now I'm doing it absolutely out of spite. For me, I had 4 jammy jams this week that could not have been more different. And what's funny is when we recorded this episode yesterday, I was referring to like, oh, we just played the song the other night. And now Joe's sitting here who was involved in the playing of the songs the other night. One was, and I told you this when it was happening, Hey Ya by Outkast.
Yeah.
This whole week, I just can't get that song. Like the entire week, whenever just, making a sandwich on Tuesday, I'll 1, 2, 3, 4, like just in my head for no reason.
What kind of sandwich?
Just an example, Michelle. It was just an example.
You just got me excited about a sandwich. It's fine.
But just all week long for no reason I've had that. And then randomly, the record got pulled to play on Friday night. And I was like, yes, because I'm dying to hear this song, Hall & Oates, You Make My Dreams.
You make
up my dreams, which I got stuck in my head because of you sending me a TikTok where they were joking about, it was a TikTok with like in the recording studio for Hall & Oates. And the guy's like, Daryl Hall, are you sure it's not You Make My Dreams? And he's like, no, I got it. No, he's like, all right, roll. And it's like, You Make My Dreams, So that killed me. And then
You're welcome.
It was like probably going to get out of my head. And then the next day, I was listening to the Casey Kasem Countdown and he played it. So I was like, all right, well, now this is stuck in my head. The other one was, we were talking last week about me getting Poison's Greatest Hits on vinyl, and I got it and I was super excited. And of course, it's got everything. And if you're a Poison fan, it's got everything that you would want to be on a Poison's Greatest Hits. But the best thing about it for me is the last 2 songs on it they were put on Poison's Greatest Hits at the time as 2 unreleased songs because they were from a full record but hadn't come out yet, right? And one of those songs is called Sexual Thing, and it, in my opinion, it's hands down the best song Poison will ever record. Again, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, why is he saying Poison's great? I'm not saying Poison themselves are great. I love them, but I totally see how a lot of people wouldn't. But everything that you come to Poison for in a song is all done the best they've ever done it in this one song.
Do they talk about sex?
Believe it or not, yes, they do. Yeah, believe it or not, yes, they do. But Joe, like, you just heard it for the first time the other night, and like 30 seconds into the song, you were like, "This is the best Poison song I've ever heard."
There were, I think, 3 new Poison songs I heard on Friday.
Yeah.
All 3 were rad.
Yeah, the other 2 are like, I would say like mid-level or whatever, but like that one is just like the best song they've ever done. I think it's better than, actually, when we put the record on, I said to him, this song is even better than Nothing But a Good Time or Talk Dirty to Me, and he was like, and then he heard it and he was like, oh, yep, this is better than that. And then the other one that's been stuck in my head is a really like odd Alanis Morissette song that I've had stuck in my head called Everything. And when we recorded this yesterday, you guys didn't know what song I was talking about, and you probably still don't.
Yeah, because I was going to listen to it and I put it on the playlist, and then I didn't.
Yeah, which will hopefully happen later today. But do you know that song by name, Joe? Everything by Alanis? Because when we talked about it yesterday, it's as soon as you hear it, you'll go, "Oh, I know that song."
Yeah, maybe I don't know it by its title.
Yeah, you'll know it as soon as you
If
hear
you
it.
go and listen to the playlist tomorrow, you can hear it.
Yeah, if you listen to the playlist, you'll hear it. Okay. So those 4 were mine, and then in this, I was totally like, I know Kyle and Michelle had good jammy jams, but I can't remember what they were. So what were your jammy jams?
I actually forgot one of mine. I don't know what it was, but
maybe I'll remember it while we're talking.
Most of what I was listening to was St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
That's right.
Everything, what do they have, 3 albums, I think? I had all 3, just all the way through. Just anything that I couldn't listen to them enough.
Yep.
Is where I was at.
And we were talking about that, like, now that Joe's here, we were like 4 or 5 years ago or so, an old friend from high school saw them at a small place in LA, and like the next morning was like, "Dude, you got to hear this band." And then I turned around to everybty I know and was like, "Dude, you got to hear this band."
Yeah, they're fantastic.
They're on my list of when the Rona's over. Like, I've not seen them in person yet. And
I would love to go see them.
It's just fantastic soul
I've got
music.
a confession.
I got a nut. Go. Yes, I saw the meme you sent me about Dave Grohl.
They're not my jam.
Okay, why?
So like, I was like, this could be my jam, and then I started listening to them more. Hold on. I was like, I don't hate it, I don't love it, and now I notice that every time they come up on Spotify, I skip it. I'm like, what is this? And I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's his voice.
You know the last band you said that to me about, that they're not your jam, and you skip them on Spotify, and it's because of his voice, like you said all of those things about. Yeah. And we're about to get real offended here. Dawes. Joe,
that is absolutely true about Dawes.
Yep.
Yeah.
She literally was like, I want to like Dawes, but I can't. And I skip them when they come on Spotify, and then she was like, I think it's because of his voice.
I feel personally attacked.
I waited until you were here to say all that.
To me, the lead singer of St. Paul and the Broken Bones sounds like Sam Smith. I don't know why. He sounds like it, and it's I don't know. I like it.
Like, lyrically, I like it. I like the music. I like the horns and everything. It's just, there's something about it that rubs me the wrong way.
It's good. For anybody listening, if you haven't heard them yet, I would say it's along the lines of like Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats major label debut, like with Son of a Bitch and all that. It's like along those lines.
Yeah.
So good for everyone else.
And then there was that, and then there was Higher Truth by Chris Cornell.
That's right. Yep.
But so specifically, I mentioned Josephine because that is a goddamn jam. And then there was another one that was floating in the air right now that I cannot remember what I mentioned. There was 3 things that I mentioned and I don't know what they were.
Was the third one after I went?
The third one was the Josephine that I mentioned later on when I came back, but I don't know what the second one was.
If Kyle's tradition holds true, we're going to be halfway through the second half. He's going to be like, wait, I remember it.
Yes.
So let's go over to our guest, Joe, because, I mean, you got to save the best for last. Joe, what are your jammy jams?
I got a few. Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
It's been on repeat almost every hour or so. I'll just put it on.
Well, I don't know if we mentioned this on your last appearance on the show. What was your record for Lights by Journey?
An entire day.
Like an entire workday? He put Lights by Journey on at work and literally repeated that one track for the entire workday. Yep. Have you done that with Sultans of Swing yet?
I'm getting real close. It's 2020, so I work from home.
Right.
But it's in that category.
Yeah,
like
it's such a jam.
It doesn't even lead lyrics. I can just listen to the groove over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. What else you got?
Jack Johnson has a new song.
What? Moving on. You talk about not my jam.
Damn it! I can only
Curious
think
George.
Yes, I can only think of Curious George when I think of Jack Johnson.
Upside Down. The song Upside Down.
Damn it! Yes.
And his cover of We Are Gonna Be Friends.
Yeah, that's.
But I didn't.
Household
what does that have to do with the monkey?
Michelle's lost again.
The movie Curious George. that he did the entire soundtrack for. Joe, tell us about it.
Jesus Christ.
Joe,
Are you aware of
hold on. Hold on. Talk to Michelle after the due date. She'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's going to become a favorite of yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, he has a new song called "The Captain Is Drunk."
well, not a whole album.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
It's just a single, and it's very reminiscent of his second album, On and On, which
Okay.
is mostly acoustic and just him,
Yeah.
which is what the song is. Just a jam. I
Right
love
on.
it. So if that's up your alley, and then the Avett Brothers released "This Land Is Your Land" by Woody Guthrie.
That's right. Yeah.
Like right before the election. And
Like
I just had it
2 or
stuck.
3 days before the election or something, right?
Like I think it was the 30th of October is the release, and it's just been in my head since then. It's just perfect Avett Brothers doing an amazing song.
I don't dislike them, but I'm not a huge fan, but I liked that cover
Yeah.
a lot when you passed it on. So
I love their harmonies.
yeah, for sure. So, of all the great things that happened this week, God be praised, everybody gets to hear Michelle's Jammy Jams, even though of the technical difficulties, she still gets to share her Jammy Jams with everybody. So, Michelle, tell us what you've been listening to.
So, this week, much like anyone else probably who has Spotify, they gave you your top 20 plays and whatever and whatnots.
Wrapped,
On,
Spotify
2020 Wrapped, yeah.
Yeah.
so, of course, I had to check that out, which has a lot of like throwback jams from this
I
year.
remember this thing. Yeah. Michelle thinks the machines are lying to her. Go
Guess
on.
who my top artist was for 2020?
I forgot.
So did I. I don't remember either.
It was Eminem, which I think is a lie.
Oh yeah.
you
Michelle thinks that
were
is-
hard on Music to Be Murdered By when it came out, so I think that's why.
I feel like
That's
I've-
probably true. Yeah,
I
just
feel like
that.
I've listened to way more Ludacris than I have Eminem.
Yeah, but you probably listen to more overall different songs from Eminem too because of listening to that one album all the time.
Probably true. So, anyways, Eminem is not my Jammy Jam this week. But
So you're going to believe two dudes who barely can remember what was said yesterday. You're going to believe them over the robots who know for sure.
show me.
She
me
was
the
like,
numbers.
it did well, and I mentioned this. Everyone's going to not going to believe this, but my top artist for the year was Michael Jackson, and my top song of the year was "Man in the Mirror." And I don't have the date exactly, but there was apparently a day in 2020 where I listened to "Man in the Mirror" 18 times.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, so here's me, like, because you're scrolling through it, and the animation comes up, and I was like, 18, nah, that's real. My guess is, because this past year was 10 years since we lost him, if I was to guess, I would say it was probably on June 25th. Yeah, I probably listened to it I probably listened to it 30 times that day, 12 of them down here on the
Right.
turntable and the other 18 on, when I wasn't in front of my turntable. So anyways, what else have you got from the robots?
So, anyways, it just brought up a whole bunch of jams from this year that I haven't listened to in a long time. There was a lot of John Mayer on it, and I appreciated that. So, the 3 John Mayer songs were "Slow Dancing in a Burning Room,"
Jam.
"XO," which I realized was a cover this year, and "Carry Me Away." So those are all my John Mayer jams for the 2020 apparently.
Slow Dancing in a Burning Room is one of those songs where I could take the staunchest John Mayer hater, put that song on, and by the end of it, they will be like, "Tell me more." Like,
For real.
Yeah, it is.
That album is fantastic.
The record.
Yeah.
I still maintain the far superior version is on "Where the Light Is," the live album. But I mean, you still get props for putting it on. It's on Continuum originally,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah. You still, just for writing that song, you get points.
Yeah.
And then I maintain that if you listen to "Slow Dancing in a Burning Room" from Continuum and you like it but don't love it, if you switch over to "Where the Light Is" and listen to it, you'll be crying by the end of
Yeah,
it.
Where the Light Is awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. I gotta give you that Blu-ray. I have that Blu-ray since you have a new soundbar.
Yes.
We don't have a Blu-ray player.
Okay, so anyway, so was that all of your Jamie
No,
Jams?
and then "Sleep on the Floor" from Lumineers, which we
Oh,
realized
that's right.
is
That's right.
from
That's
Cleopatra.
right. From their second effort,
Yes,
right? Okay.
2016. So.
Okay, yep. And I still need to check out.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen past their first record, Joe?
No.
See, I did
Listen
not
to 3.
either. Wait. You said that all emphatically, like that ain't my jam. Do you not want to hear more from the Lumineers? Like I just haven't because I haven't got to it.
I assumed you meant listen as in continuously listen. I listened after their first record. It just didn't do as much for me, so I never really
so
gave it more.
You're just saying Michelle's music sucks. Okay, I got it. I got it. Do you have any thoughts on Dawes before we go to break, Michelle?
They're awful.
I will say, if you go on YouTube and watch all of the videos that go with all of the songs from their album 3, it's amazing. They put a shitload of work into putting that whole thing together.
No, that, I can appreciate that.
Yes, and it makes the songs mean so much more than what you would get by just listening to it. The album.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that. And then I feel like my path on that's going to be I'm going to watch YouTube, and the whole time I'm going to be like, oh, Kyle was right. Kyle was right. Kyle was right. Kyle was right.
Yeah, I fell into a quarantine rabbit hole when I found that. I was just one after another. I was like, oh my God.
And then I feel like I'm going to buy the vinyl, and I'm going to play about half of one song and then just make people watch YouTube instead of listening to it. So, in any case, we're going to take a short break and do a couple of things. One, I'm going to check the audio and make sure that it recorded right this time. If you're a regular listener to the show, you know that Michelle's going to have a piddle. And then when we come back, we are going to get into discussing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we did have a great spirited discussion about this yesterday, but today we get to gang up on Joe if he doesn't.
Joke's on you, I don't have to pee.
Could you at least try? All right, we'll be back in a second. Hopefully.
Here at the 500 Section Lounge, we have a few requirements. First, you need to be able to talk about anything at all. Secondly, you need to be able to laugh, play games, and hang out with some very interesting people. From sports radio personalities to reality television contest finalists and everything in between, we talk to them all right here in the lounge. Be on the lookout for what we do next and sit back, relax, and be there to grab a listen.
Welcome to Geek Exploration, the podcast. I'm John Williams.
And I'm Ben Robinson. Do you like time travel?
Movies.
Video games?
Comics.
Sci-fi?
Cartoons.
Or how about action figures?
Well, so do we. Every episode, we pick a topic from the geekosphere and have a little chat about it.
So if you've been waiting for a groundbreaking podcast that does all of this and more, you might have what it takes to be a Geek Explorer.
Come join us every other Tuesday for a fresh installment of Geek Exploration, the podcast.
You can find us at geeksplorationpodcast.com or any reputable podcatcher. Likely a few unreputable ones.
Hey there, we're BFYTW Podcast. I'm Pantsless Aaron, I'm the host, and we are three silly people playing very silly games for fakey points that don't count for anything. Our permanent team captains are a veteran and a podcaster, and a veteran podcaster, it's Stevie.
Hey guys, it's Midnight Smoke here. I love being funny, goofy, and I'm here for your entertainment.
And his permanent opponent, my oldest friend and a gamer and a storyteller, it's Jorge.
Hey guys, Jorge here, HH_Empire, and I am the logical voice to this Maelstrom of Chaos sometimes.
Well, if you like silly people playing silly games, then you want to come hang out with us at BFYTW Podcast every week. That's BFYTWpodcast.com.
And we're back, and good news. The first half of the show recorded.
Yay.
So, what's that?
Supposedly.
Well, no, you heard it. So that's great news, and it bodes well for hopefully this half of the show being recorded as well. So we are going to get right into the main topic.
It's time for the Infectious Groove Podcast main topic of discussion.
And every week I remain pleased that we haven't got caught for the copyright on any of that yet.
Yeah,
we are talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for our main topic this week. And we've got kind of a couple of different points we want to talk about. The idea of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the actual place, like the museum itself. And we're going to get into some things that people have a lot of opinions on, like who should be allowed in, who's been snubbed, all that stuff. But we'll start here, and I don't have any clue what order I did anything in the first go around. So we'll start with Michelle. This time it's going to be Rock and Roll Hall of Fame roulette. What is your overall opinion of the idea of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I like that it's a museum of stuff, but the actual Hall of Fame does not matter to me.
Like,
I don't.
Even a little bit?
Even... Like if someone were like, yeah, but they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't care. Much like a Grammy, it doesn't matter anything to me.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, where like if someone was going to convince me to listen to a new artist, like that would be the last thing where I'd be, oh, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well, hell, let me go. You know, now, Kyle, this isn't just from when we recorded this the first time. This is in life in general. We know you don't care about accolades and awards.
See, so I'm torn. I do believe that people should be recognized for the great shit that they do, because that's how more great shit happens, when people like to be told that they're doing a good job in general. In the same token, I don't believe that these assholes, specifically at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, should be telling people what's cool and what isn't.
Right.
It doesn't, just because you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does not actually mean anything.
Well, I think the best way to put it is what you said. I feel like it's a committee of people who have decided that they're going to come down from on high and tell us what's cool.
Yeah. And I do, so I'm a sucker for a good music museum. So all of the artifacts and stuff that they have and the stuff you can look at and that shit gives me a musical boner. But other than that, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that they're going to be like, oh, well, this is who deserves it this year, and this, people getting snubbed. And
we're probably going to have to wait at least a couple of years to see if the baby has any musical talent. But was the baby made with a musical boner?
It's entirely
between
possible.
The four of us, yes.
Okay. Over the past couple of episodes, you've had some gems. But I'm going to respectfully ask that in the future you not refer to anything to do with the making of your baby as the four of us. Are we good? Are we good on that?
What about the three?
I don't want to have too much of an awkward on-air moment here, but I want that. I need a commitment from you that in the future you're not going to refer to the four of us with the respect to having your child.
I'd like to be removed from that equation as well.
You're in there. Michelle, do I have your commitment? Okay. So.
To answer your question, it is entirely possible that a musical boner could have been involved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a 50-50 chance.
Yes.
So.
Who's musical boner? We don't know.
Could be any of the four of us. Who knows? So, having said that, hey, Joe, you couldn't be set up any better for your thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Should it exist? What do you think about it?
I like it more as a museum. I'm kind of in between the both of you. I like it as a museum of artifacts, things you can see and do and interact and relive through visually.
Yeah, and that's where I stand as well. I don't get the idea of telling me someone is good enough to be in, but I love the idea of getting to see these actual artifacts. Now, I shared this story before, but I'm going to share kind of a bummer that I had at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because I've been there twice. Like, who in the room, you guys, Michelle and Kyle, you guys have never been to the place in Cleveland, right?
I've been twice, yeah.
Okay, first of all, now you can confirm this. Is it not way smaller than you think it's going to be?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it was, yes.
Could be any of the four of us.
Again, I don't have the boner.
Right. Well, that's yet to be confirmed. So, but when you actually get there, you're like, is it behind that building? Like, because it's just so small.
It's a pyramid, and the main floor is essentially the store, check-in, a lot of open space that's not being used very, very well.
Right.
And then as you get into the floors that are meaningful, it gets smaller. So
but I do now I went first in 1999, and then I went again 2 years ago, and I feel like it's very how long ago did you go?
I went in 2000 and then 2012.
Okay, so you've been there twice as well. So did you think that it was way more organized the second time? I thought so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you went, because I went in 99, if you went in 2000, didn't it just seem like almost here, like we just laid out some things?
Yeah, they were still working out the kinks of having a giant museum for everything.
Yeah, and then when you go again, it seems like there's a lot more purpose, like interactive stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Now, the only issue...
And I mean, 99, 2000 to 15 years later, technology and things you can offer the visitor.
Yeah, and like the whole top floor used to just be like, and here's a suit Aerosmith wore, or like here's some scarves from Steven Tyler. Whereas now it's like a whole if the top floor is dedicated to Aerosmith, it's like a whole multimedia experience, which is rad. Have you ever heard any controversy about if their artifacts are genuine or not?
I have.
Okay,
and I've seen some in person where I question them myself.
You as well. Okay, because I personally, have I ever told you the story about seeing the Elvis belt?
No.
Okay, so I'll try and short version of this, but on the cover of Madison Square Garden, Elvis is wearing this gold belt that almost looks like a wrestling belt. And it's not like all of his belts always matched the style of the jumpsuit that he was wearing, but this one specific belt, the Hiltons had made for him because of the indoor attendance record that he set, the International Hotel in Las Vegas. So it kind of looks like a boxing or a wrestling belt type thing. And he's wearing it specifically on that show because he knows he's going to be, it's going to be the cover shoot for the live album, right? And it's one of a kind. The Hiltons had it made for Elvis for this reason. And in 1999, we drove all the way down to Graceland and went there. And then the next morning got up and drove to Cleveland to see the Hall of Fame and then drove home. And Graceland had the belt on display. And so did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the next day.
So
maybe they transported it.
Yeah, so you stole the belt.
Yeah.
Took it to the hall.
All for this elaborate story, so I could tell it 20 years later. And neither of them had any sort of thing that said this is a replica of or on loan. But I read through the years that a lot of those questionable things they took out. And my big experience from that is this. So when I went in 1999, they had what they were claiming was the glove that Michael used on the Motown 25 special, but Michael Jackson gave that glove to Hitsville, USA, and it's always been on display there. Like, why would Hitsville, USA give that to anyone ever?
Right.
So when I went in 99, their Michael Jackson display consisted of that and a hat and the black sequin jacket, and they were like, and this is the stuff Michael Jackson used on Motown 25. Now, I hadn't been to Hitsville, USA at the time, so for me, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they loaned it to him or whatever. But when I got up to the Elvis floor, I was like, wait a minute, oh, okay, now is anything here even real? But when I went back in 2018, instead of claiming they had the real Beat It jacket or claiming they had that glove, they had the jacket Michael wore when he recorded We Are the World, which is like a significant step down in like iconic, but I would believe more that that's real. Yeah. Instead of them claiming that, like, oh, we have this one glove that is 20 minutes from your house at all times.
That's disappointing. I'm not down with that replica shit when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But I'm hoping that that's less of a thing now.
Yeah, I'd rather it be more authentic memorabilia. Yeah. And less iconic, like you were saying.
Yeah, I would rather
than it being a replica of.
I was overjoyed to see that We Are the World jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, he was wearing that jacket when he was standing in the middle of the greatest collection of music stars in the history of the world. That's way cooler to me than sitting there looking at a glove being like, well, I don't even know if that's the real one or not.
Yeah. Yep. To me, part of the awesome thing about that is you go to an art museum and what you're looking at is something that Van Gogh touched his paintbrush to.
Exactly.
And you're like, holy shit, like that's amazing. The same thing goes for the music stuff, music memorabilia. It's they wore the jacket, they used that mic, they used that
guitar. If I'm looking at the Sgt. Pepper outfits, I want the ones they wore on the album cover.
I can go find a fake Van Gogh to hang in my house and go find a.
I have an exact replica of the Beat It jacket over there.
Exactly.
And actually, we've had people on our Twitter account be like, "Is that real?" And I could totally be like, "Oh yeah, sure, I got a real. Yeah, it's a real one he wore in the video." But I tell people, I go out of my way to be like, "No, that's a replica."
Yeah. I think museums put out replicas though.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Are they obligated to say it's a replica though?
I don't know. There's been I've read some stories about people who've tried to steal stuff and they're like, "Gotcha, bitch," because it's in the bag. So I don't know how often it happens,
but your point, Kyle and Michelle, together leads me to the thing where the problem I have with the Hall of Fame as an institution, not the museum, but you don't see Hall of Fame for any other art. There's not a Hall of Fame for paintings.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hall of Fames are usually for something that has some sort of competitive nature to it.
Yeah, like
painting.
Sporting events.
Michelle, you do a lot of competitive painting.
I do, but I'm not as good as a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh,
Oh, so you're not in the Painting Hall of Fame?
I'm not in a museum, a.k.a. the Painting Hall of Fame.
Okay, so here's the thing. Museums are not Hall of Fames.
I mean, they don't hang my art in a museum because I'm not good enough because I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
That's not. No, there are museums all over the world. I'm certain there's some museum that would display your art.
I'm going to find that museum.
You guys can open one at your house. But there just isn't, even for films or music, there's not, for films or, paintings, there's not a Hall of Fame.
Oscars?
Yeah, but that's an awards show.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Grammys Hall of Fame, if they wanted I don't know if there is a Grammys Hall of Fame or if there's a best of.
There's a Grammys Hall of Fame, and the first inductee was Jethro Tull. Zing.
But something like that where there is a distinct winner and it's categorized and it's cumulative.
Yep.
There's
Something
a
like
Walk
that.
of Fame.
Yeah, but again, that's not anywhere near.
But that's more of recognition.
Plus,
Also, you pay for your own.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say, they pay for that shit.
I was going to say, you actually can have a star on the Walk of Fame, yes.
How much is it?
I forget what it is. The only reason I even knew about paying for the Walk of Fame, was because a bunch of Weird Al fans got together and got him a star.
How do I get to put my face in the cement?
Your face?
Like Michael Scott.
I think you can just pour concrete any old place and do that.
No, I want it at the thing.
Okay. And hold on, just to be clear, call back to the first half of the episode. You're going to be a parent?
Yep.
It's a poor idea.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's a poor idea.
So I'm only 50%. Kyle makes up for the other 50%.
Right.
Or 150%.
Yeah, or 150. So we're going to move on to what the two topics I think are the most controversial, or that you hear the most about, is either snubs. I can't believe this band's not in, or I can't believe it took that band this long to get in.
Wait, can we back up and read the definition?
Oh boy. If I had finished my sentence.
I don't let you finish.
I'm very aware of that.
That was the perfect time for a Kanye West drop, and you missed it.
Yeah,
I don't have it.
Yeah. Oh my Lord, the amount of time and energy I put into these drops for her to say she doesn't have it.
My Dropbox is full.
So, with a baby, we know.
That is what I call my uterus.
But we're also we're also going to talk about artists that you might think shouldn't be allowed in, because I've seen that a lot too, where they announce the inductees list and people go apeshit, going, "Oh my, how is that person shouldn't even be allowed in the Hall of Fame?" So we're going to talk about that. And as a segue to those two things, I was going to ask you, Michelle, if you would read the criteria to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, I don't know how to read. Artists become eligible for induction 25 years after the release of their first record. Criteria includes the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to the development and perpetuation of rock and roll.
So there's a lot of things to break down there. First things first, I have found, and I feel like Kyle and Joe, you guys are going to be more up on this because you look at social media as opposed to someone else at the table who doesn't.
You?
As soon as an artist hits 25 years from their first release, I feel like every person who's ever bought their record immediately starts being like, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, am I wrong? Or do you guys see that out there from fan bases?
Yeah, it does happen.
Like Nine Inch Nails, like the moment
yeah.
Pretty Hate Machine hit 25 years, like all of Nine Inch Nails fans were like, they should get in right now. You know, do you see that, Joe?
Yeah, they're not a first ballot Hall of Famer to me. No. But yeah, as soon as that 25-year mark comes up, they're just clamoring for it.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens a whole lot. Like the 25-year thing seems to be the thing where like people sit and wait and they're like, all right, we're going to start complaining on this day. You know, like that's
circled on their calendar. We're going to start complaining.
Yeah, we should make sure to start, complaining about that. And I also think that it doesn't, just because you hit 25 years doesn't mean the rest of the description applies to you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, when you talk about snubs or you talk about who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, the whole second half of that description matters way more to the discussion than how long you've been around. So again, the criteria includes the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to the development and perpetuation of rock and roll. I think that's enormous with who should be in or when people should have gotten in. And even if you don't care about like the Hall of Fame as a whole, like we've already debated, like there shouldn't be an art Hall of Fame, I still think there's something to be said for like it exists. So let's talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we all can't, I would assume if we all four had our way, like the actual institution wouldn't even exist. It would just be a museum.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. But it exists. So, are there any snubs still today that you're like, I can't believe that person's not in? Oh boy. Oh man.
Look at Joe's face is priceless.
I feel like you're going to say one that's going to be so off base that I'm going to want to destroy the audio on my own from this half.
Well, I have a few, but
all right, well, hold up now. Michelle, is there anyone you can think of, Michelle, that is not in that you're like, yeah, they definitely should be in?
Brian Eno.
Hold on. Excuse me 1 second, everyone quiet down. Michelle, Brian Eno from... Okay. Somebody read an article.
The cricket drop. We're missing the cricket drop again. God damn it.
Somebody read an article.
The Enos?
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I remember the first Enos record I bought.
The only reason I said that is because right before the show, you guys were talking about them, and I was like, I'm going to remember that for later.
Solid. Is there anybody, Kyle, that you think, oh man, they should be in there?
No, because
I feel like a lot of people you like are in though.
Like, so but I couldn't tell you who's in and who's out. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I'm never gonna be like, oh my God, they like waiting for someone to.
You know what? You just reminded me of, I don't think I ever did care either until people that I wanted in got snubbed. Like with the big controversy with Rush. I think I just went along thinking things were right with the Hall of Fame, you know, and then like when the kerfuffle came up about Rush, I literally was like, wait, what?
I'm just,
you know,
I have a question.
I'm desensitized to the entire thing between the Grammys, the Oscars, and people that rightfully deserve things getting snubbed constantly with stuff. I just gave up on even caring.
Well, you know, I champion him all the time. Well, all of us do on the show, and I know I speak for Joe as well on this. Like the fact that Weird Al's fans had to buy him a star on the Walk of Fame. You know what I mean? Like the amount of artists who get snubbed because they're not cool. You know, it's just ridiculous.
What kind of question?
Michelle has her hand raised.
I just wanted to know if the artifacts in the museum are only from artists that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That I've seen, yes.
Well, then it does matter who's in there because I want to see some stuff from other people.
Okay, well, whose stuff would you like to see? Solid. Joe, bring us out of the depths of this point. Who is it that you had the crafty look on your face about if you say Dave Matthews Band, we're going to have a problem?
No, they're eligible.
Oh.
They've been snubbed. They've been snubbed.
No, they haven't been snubbed. They just haven't been voted in. They haven't been snubbed, though. They were eligible in 2019 for the first time. They should not have gotten. They're not a first ballot, and there are plenty of other acts who are not in who should absolutely be in before them. I think they're worthy of it, but I don't think they should be in right now.
Okay.
Tina Turner.
Oh, for sure.
Tina Turner.
Wait, that's not your bombshell, is it?
No.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, Tina Turner absolutely
Tina Turner
should be in the
was
Rock and Roll of Fame.
The number one on my list. I mean, she's in with Ike and Tina Turner, which is offensive.
Yeah.
That she's in with Ike and Tina Turner, and she's not in on her
Let's
own
roll it back
volition.
a minute. Everything about Ike is offensive.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
And then the fact that she's inducted with him and not on her own is insane. Insane. And it's not even like she went away after then, maybe had a couple of minor hits. Like this woman has had like 40 years of monster hits, and just
because she's a woman.
How is Pat?
Very well could be.
Is Pat Benatar in?
No.
Okay, good.
And she better not ever get in.
Okay, good.
Sorry,
how is Pat Benatar in?
Sorry if I just offended every heartbreaker karaoke artist of all time, but man, my thing with Pat Benatar is like, let me put aside that I don't like her at all. I'll put that aside.
Personally?
I know. Yes. I have a big problem with it. Me, her, and Neil had dinner once, and I didn't like something she said. But anyways, with Pat Benatar, the whole second half about influence and perpetuation of rock and roll, like I just don't see her having done anything to inspire anybody else, and certainly her legacy, at least. As far like I was saying with Tina Turner, like Tina Turner has decades. Pat Benatar has like a square time that she was popular between like 82 and 84, and that's it. And I mean, the only song I truly love by her came out like 87, All Fired Up, but no one but me knows that song. So, it was not the comeback single that she wanted. For me, I was like, oh, sweet, I like Pat Benatar now. And then she didn't go anywhere, and I was like, damn it. Well, okay, never mind. But like that, I just don't, she isn't someone that should be in, but Tina Turner, absolutely. Who else you got?
Joy Division, New Order.
No, that's the one he was. Okay, so again, I will put everything aside I've ever said negative about Joy Division and say this: Joy Division launched 1 million bands based on influence alone. Joy Division should be in. Yeah, and I mean, I would argue New Order's. I would argue New Order's influence on anybody because. To me, New Order, and we'll come back if you have more. We'll come back to yours in a minute. To me, New Order comes out of my personal biggest snub, which is Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk, the fact that they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a sin.
Yeah.
New Order, Depeche Mode, parts of Herbie Hancock's later material, all the way up to Rammstein. Like the Kraftwerk's influence and perpetuation of forward motion in rock and roll can't be understated. But I would say that New Order falls into they came out of Kraftwerk's influence. I don't think anybody was influenced by New Order. That's why I would argue against them. But Joy Division, however unhappy I may be about their existence, you can't argue. Joy Division have launched 1 million bands and really furthered an entire movement in a subset of rock and roll that would not exist if it were not for Joy Division.
Right.
As unhappy as I may be about that, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Wait, are you unhappy about that?
I am. Okay. I feel like we're going to have one match here in a minute, but go on. Because I have one more gigantic snub.
John Coltrane.
Oh, no. Okay. I didn't have that, but yeah, I would absolutely.
I mean,
that's ridiculous that he's not in. I that's one like when you just said is Pat Benatar in, like I would have just assumed that Coltrane.
Do you think that's rock and roll?
Absolutely. John Coltrane has influenced rock and roll players.
No, that's not the definition.
Did you not just read it? The second half of it was their influence on the.
Well, hold on. So hold on. Save this part of this argument for we're going to get into who shouldn't be in, and we'll get into that next.
All right, I'm raring to go.
Yeah. Oh man, there's going to be a fight.
Miles Davis is in. What the hell is John Coltrane on the sideline?
What's funny though is yesterday when we did the first take of this episode, there was like when we got to the who shouldn't be in, the general consensus was like, I don't know, I guess everybody should. And it's funny that now Michelle's like, no, wait a minute, not that guy. So, do you have any others that should be in? Because if you don't have any more, I got one that
I got one more.
Okay,
the Smiths.
Oh no, absolutely not. And
okay, so I don't have any more.
Absolutely not. And again, though, with the Smiths, for me though, is like yes, their legacy's huge, but I would argue that many people weren't that influenced by the Smiths.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for some Smith site to find our show and tell me I'm wrong. You know, like I'm open to that. But the MC5, MC5, bro, how are the MC5 not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Before we even continue talking about the Smiths, let's just put some MC5 on it.
They should be.
Wayne Kramer and the MC5 kick out the jams. The original Motor City Bad Boys launched. Two still launching bands.
Is that what MC stands for?
Yes.
Motor City.
The Motor City 5. Yes. Michelle, who's lived in Detroit her entire life. Yes. The MC5 stands for the Motor City 5. You know,
we should have a segment of what did Michelle learn today?
Like, if you like the White Stripes, if you like Rage Against the Machine, like
they're a founding father of punk.
Yeah. I mean, if you like any punk band ever, you have the MC5 to thank for that. And how are the MC5 not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I do not. And it has nothing to do with being from Detroit. It has to do with, which, by the way, did you know, Kyle, that they're called the Motor City 5?
It's strange.
Did you know that?
Strange facts.
It's weird. And, but, you know, just to clarify, I'm just not like, because if I'm not the guy that's like, oh, Bob Seger should be in, because, you know, I'm not a big Bob Seger fan. I don't care where he's from. But, like, the MC5, like, they're just a cornerstone of rock and roll. Like, they launched an entire genre. They, so many bands of different kinds. Like, if you listen to Rage and then you listen to MC5, you might not put that connection together, but if you talk to the four guys in Rage, they're going to be like, hey, let me tell you why we picked up an instrument.
Yeah.
Wayne Kramer and the MC5. That's how I feel about snubs. And then there's other little things too. I have problems with how they decide what members of which bands get to get in.
Which is how?
Through.
Exactly.
Yeah, and who knows?
Selling tickets to an expensive spaghetti dinner.
Yeah.
Making sure everybody gets that expensive spaghetti hands. But yeah, I just, you know, the thing where the two biggest examples I always come to is with GNR, because they thought they could sell tickets. They were trying to force a GNR reunion of guys who were only in GNR for 5 years, and they didn't want to let in the guys who had been in GNR for 3 times that long, you know, like, which is ridiculous. Yeah. And then Van Halen, they wanted to let in Sammy and Dave, but not Gary Cherone, because Gary Cherone's not cool enough for them.
So what happened with that?
They inducted everybody except for Gary Cherone.
Can't you just say no? Like, couldn't they band together
Axl
and be
Rose
like, no?
is, fun fact, Axl Rose is the only artist in history to turn down his induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So Guns N' Roses is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Axl Rose is not. He wrote a surprisingly well-worded letter.
Wait, he actually wrote it?
Yeah, like no, trust me, it rambles enough to where I tell you for sure it's Axl. But he just wrote a very well-worded letter and was like, yeah, no, I'm like, he didn't just not show up. Like when Van Halen got inducted, Alex and Edward didn't go to the actual ceremony because they had a problem with Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar at the time, and they were not interested in being like, we're going to fake our way through this, Right. So they didn't go. Axl didn't just not go. He turned down his induction straight up. So he's the only person to ever be nominated to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and turn it down. So if you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they list off Gilby Clarke is listed as being inducted with Guns N' Roses and Axl Rose is not. So, for all the crap Axl takes, and I'm usually driving that bus, like I'm usually driving the Axl crap bus, but that's an integrity move,
That makes it sound like you drive a bus full of Axl Rose's crap.
Yeah. The four of us do.
Shit.
Yep. So now we're gonna go over to Michelle's strong argument about artists who shouldn't be allowed in, and the reason
rules.
So hold on. The reason why I bring this up is because the two that I saw, four, that I've seen where they were on the list and people went nuts. Like, we're just like, oh, how dare you, was Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie Smalls, and Run DMC. All four of those people lost their mind.
You see Tupac was in there too?
I believe
Tupac is in.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah. I was going to say that if Biggie was in and Tupac wasn't, then that's horseshit because they're both as influential.
See Tina Turner.
At the same
East Coast bias, man.
Yeah, at the same time, they both have been as influential as each other on the industry.
I heard about West Coast bias once on the BET Awards. Holy cow. You almost saw Snoop Dogg get killed on live television.
God, yeah.
But people just get so mad about rap artists being in there, and like Janet Jackson is a pop artist, and obviously Whitney Houston is as well. But for me, it comes back to the criteria, and rock and roll being born out of rhythm and blues and jazz, basically the two genres being mix-mashed together to make rock and roll. So if you have anything in your repertoire that comes from those things, to me, you should go in.
It's always strange for me when people mention that people of color shouldn't be
in the Hall of Fame. In the Hall of Fame for the genre.
They shouldn't be deserving of anything.
Yeah,
right?
well,
makes no sense.
Hey, speaking of people saying that about people of color, Michelle, talk to us about why John Coltrane shouldn't be in.
Those are not the rules. That's it. It doesn't have anything to do with what color you are.
No, of course not. I'm kidding. Yeah,
or what you got in your pants.
I should back up and say that to everybody. Michelle, in no way, shape, or form said something bad about people of color. I was absolutely joking. What I'm saying is, like, Coltrane is, a jazz institution, and jazz is what helped form rock and roll.
But it's not the what influenced Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Joe? You want to take this from here?
What that you just repeated part of the criteria for being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's to perpetuate the rock and roll, is not to just influence the rock and roll.
The rock and roll.
Yes.
Is the word influence not in the criteria?
For the future, not for the past.
Who influences the past?
I don't know. John Coltrane.
What?
Are you sure you don't have, she set her DeLorean for a certain time? But my point is that he's heavily into a genre that rock and roll would not exist without.
That's great. That's not the criteria.
She's following that. She's following the rules to the letter. So you're talking about, okay, so let me try and do this. Okay, so you would say Run DMC could be in because they influenced Faith No More, Rage Against the Machine, and Korn.
Absolutely.
Okay. But Biggie Smalls should not be in because he hasn't.
I don't know. I don't know enough. Like you guys are very much.
We're talking about your rules, lady.
No, I didn't make the rules. The rules are on the paper.
Hold on. We're talking about the rules you want to follow.
No, so I don't know. Has Biggie Smalls influenced any rock and roll?
Has John Coltrane?
But John Coltrane is not rock and roll.
And neither is Biggie Smalls. Or Run DMC.
I would say Run DMC could be a little bit of rock and roll.
When they team up with Aerosmith, a rock and roll band?
Yeah, well, no, they even before and after that, Run DMC used a lot of rock in their samples for sure, but they're a rap artist, but they influenced going forward. So Kyle's point of if Coltrane influenced rock artists,
you can't say you don't know who Biggie influenced if you equally don't know who John Coltrane influenced.
It is not me who's deciding. I'm just saying these are the rules.
What?
Then
none of those people get to be allowed in, okay? Take them all out.
Wait, hold on real quick. What do you mean those people?
Yeah. Who is them?
You know what I mean.
Joe, your thoughts on this whole situation? I think what's great is obviously you can't see this when you're listening to the show, but Joe's like bellied up to his mic like 3 times, and then he like keeps going back to think more, and then like snugs up on his mic, and then he's like, "Wait a minute!" And every time Michelle opens her mouth, it makes Joe rethink his point. So, Joe, tell us what you think.
I don't know where you're coming up with any of this.
It's in the rules.
I really don't. I mean, you read the rules a half hour ago, and now you're changing them.
No,
you're omitting the word influence.
No, that's
for the record. Can you restate the rules for everyone?
So then if influence is...
I feel like I'm commentating a sports thing. Kyle has asked for a rule read. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification while the officials
So should the inductees who are already in be polled on their influence, and then we're just going to go from that group then?
What?
The group, you want influence, right? So you want tangible influence.
I don't want anything. This is just the rule.
Reread the rules.
Artists become eligible for induction 25 years after the release of their first record. Criteria include the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to the development and perpetuation of rock and roll.
Okay, so
jazz helped develop rock and roll. Period. Hard stop.
There would be no rock and roll if there were no jazz.
So then the jazz. I'm not making the rules. I'm just saying.
You're the one that wants to stick to the rules.
Exactly. I'm not the one who makes the rules happen. I'm not the judge and jury. I don't know why this is what I think.
From what I've read of the council of people that makes up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you could be.
I could be, yes.
Hell, they might even hear this and be like, "That's our girl." That's who we're looking for right there. It's like in an Office Space. They're like, "Now hold up, Peter. Now that's a straight shooter." Like, they're gonna hear Michelle be like, "Now that's a girl who knows what she's doing."
It is strange to me that the people that you mentioned about people always getting all pissed off that are able to be in the Hall of Fame are all people of color, and that is where all of this began. All the music comes from that direction.
Yeah.
So you can't. That doesn't work that way. You either don't know what you're talking about.
The only one I personally have ever been like, I don't know, is Janet, because outside of Black Cat, she doesn't have anything like any real. I mean, Nuno Betancourt played on Black Cat, so that's a rock song. Like I don't care what they do. You got Nuno Betancourt on your song, you got a rock song. But nothing she's done it was rock, or have I ever seen an artist since who's been influenced by her? You can name 10 rock acts who have taken a lot from Michael Jackson's pop career. So he should be in alone before you even worry about his music. Is more rock based than Janet's, right? And just to be clear, I'm not insulting Janet or anything. I'm just I'm saying as an artist, I don't think she's the one that I was like, I don't think you fit the criteria.
And so if you go beyond that, how can there be an organization that recognizes one genre of music and nothing else?
Well,
and it says, "Oh, you guys had nothing to do with any of this stuff that's going on. You can't be in here."
And a lot of people have. That line of thinking's out there too, that they should just switch it to the music Hall of Fame.
It can be just.
Well, country music has theirs. Country music has.
Well, that's more than one standard. You can say that,
right? Yeah. But I mean, they recognize their own. Right. So you don't see a lot of country acts in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There are some, but there's not as many as there possibly could be if country didn't have their own thing.
Right. Yeah.
So now the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is essentially a catch-all for everything that filters out of that.
Right.
So you have rap. You have jazz, you have rock and roll, pop, things like that. So I think the naming convention, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
is the issue.
That is the problem.
Yes,
because John Coltrane is worthy of recognition within music.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
100%.
Whether it's,
that's how three of us feel. But go on.
But I mean, I think people get hung up on the rock and roll part.
I cracked myself up with that. Go on.
On the rock and roll part.
Yeah, for sure.
And rock and roll is influenced by much more than just previous rock and roll. Mm-hmm. So they're taking everything and filtering it into what sound they're going to make.
Right.
Yeah. You can't create something that is a mixture of everything and say that these things don't fit in, even though that it's all a part of the same thing.
Right. And they talk a great deal at almost at every one of their dinners, and for sure at the museum all over. They keep talking about the great melting pot that is rock. But then it's like, well, we want these ingredients and not those. Let me shift it completely off of a person of color. Let's put it this way. Every argument that I just made about Janet Jackson could be made about Britney Spears, and she's eligible in 6 years.
Yeah. And then when she does eventually get inducted or whatever, people aren't going to give a shit.
Yeah. Well, If Britney Spears goes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Kraftwerk, I riot.
That's
So
taking 6 years.
If you take out the rock and roll part, then everybody that we mentioned, I feel
Right,
like
that's what I'm saying. Is people get hung
belongs.
up on the rock and roll naming convention.
Well, that's because that's what it's called.
Well, I know, but it almost defeats its purpose in its name.
Yeah, I feel like the conclusion all of us came to, first things first, is that we all love the idea of the museum, for sure. Mm-hmm. Like going there and seeing artifacts and whatnot. I mean, Michelle, you have Hitsville, USA, is one of the best museums in the history of music, right? 20 minutes from our house, and you've been there how many times? 14, 15? Oh, wait, zero? Zero times?
I thought about it going one time.
Oh, she thought about it. Sweet. So you're going to hop in the car and drive 2 hours and go to Cleveland and see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
What you got to do before 5 p.m., by the way, because that's it's the greatest part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is that it closes at 5 p.m. every day.
Make sure to call and ask what replicas they have on display before you go.
Yes. But that's because I have to rock and roll all night and part of every day.
And just part of every day. Yep. They got to make sure they're closed in time to start the rock and roll.
Yeah, nothing says rock and roll like getting home in a decent hour, getting a good meal, and a good night's sleep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So good news about this. The new version of our episode is quite a bit longer than the first one. But we also didn't have the weird John Coltrane argument in the first part of the first version of this. For next week, it's kind of tentative right now, so I don't want to say exactly what, but I believe next week we are going to have an interview with a member of a band who is very much a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. So
is he inducted?
I will have to look that up. I know he was very much part of the induction itself, but I don't know if it was his name was mentioned or if he was actually inducted into the Hall of Fame. But I will find that out because next week I'll include it in the intro or not. Hall of Fame member or highly highlighted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that will be coming up next week. Joe, thanks for pitch hitting and helping us out with the second version.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm going to make sure this is good, and if not, we're going to do it a third time. It's going to be even more fun.
That's
the third
what you
time.
think.
We're going to we're going to start it right off the third time with all right. So John Coltrane. Without music, life would be a mistake. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
The Infectious Groove podcast is hosted by Russ Robinson, Kyle Wimple, and Michelle Koselecki. Produced and edited by Russ Robinson. Intro and outro music composed by Chris Kimmel. Opening credits read by Stacey Robinson. Recorded with a Rode Podcaster Pro and Rode Pod mics.